Heidi Ho again. Yes, that one was specifically for you, Mrs. Hildebrandt. We are at North Cascades National Park. That's National Park 58 of the 63. We are really excited to be getting down to the wire, and we think this is going to be a great one, sort of on the tail end and make its way up to the top, or at least we hope so. Where are we camping, Alana?
We are camping at the New Halem Creek campground.
That's right. We are here 4 nights, and that's going to give us 2 really full exploration days.
Yes.
And we might have some time. We still have some ideas for these this evening, as well as maybe the morning on our way back out of here as we head towards our next thing. So anyway, let's get it all kicked off right now.
Once camp was set, we followed the short trail to the visitor center. It's become a bit of a tradition, stretching our legs, grabbing a new park sticker, and chatting with a ranger or volunteer about trails and overlooks before the real adventure begins. Morning came early with a slow drive through the dim light to reach the Cascade Pass Trailhead. From there, the climb wasted no time, 37 switchbacks, one stacked on the next. It was part workout, part meditation, as we zigzagged through dense forest, knowing that the epic views were waiting just beyond the ridge. North Cascades National Park protects nearly 500,000 acres of rugged terrain, making it one of the largest wilderness areas in Washington. More than 400 miles of trails cross valleys, ridges, and alpine passes, leading to alpine lakes and ancient forests. The park is home to over 300 glaciers, the highest concentration anywhere in the lower 48. Yet, despite all this, it remains one of the least visited parks in the system. That quiet remoteness is part of its magic, wild, untamed, and waiting to be discovered. After grinding through the switchbacks, we stepped out onto Cascade Pass. Surrounded by steep ridges and hanging glaciers, it felt as if the mountains had drawn in close, wrapping the pass in a circle of jagged peaks. The view alone explains why this place is called the American Alps. From the pass, we climbed higher along Sahale Arm, where wildflower meadows stretched toward the clouds. Marmots whistled from the rocks, and distant peaks revealed themselves with every step. Soon, Diablo Lake came into view far below, a turquoise basin cradled by cliffs, almost too perfect to be real. The higher we went, the wilder it felt, with alpine terrain and permanent snowfields signaling the shift into high country. the top of Sahale Arm, the trail arrives at Sahale Glacier Camp, one of the most dramatic backcountry campsites in the entire park. Perched high above the valley, it offers sweeping views of jagged peaks in every direction, with the glacier spilling down just beyond the tents. Standing there feels like you've reached the roof of the North Cascades. Eventually, it was time to turn back, retracing our steps down the arm. Views we had climbed past earlier looked even more dramatic on the way down, with Doubtful Lake in shadow from storm clouds developing in the distance. We are always amazed at how the return trip can look so different, especially given our efforts to regularly stop to take in the full view on the way out. High on the slopes, we spotted a small herd of mountain goats picking their way across the rocks. They moved so easily through the cliffs, it was hard to imagine the climb we had just done. Reminder that in this rugged terrain, they are the true locals. The wildlife here is as much a part of the story as the scenery, and sightings like this remind you just how alive these mountains are. Dropping back into the forest, the long switchbacks gave us time to soak in the last glimpses of high country. Cascade Pass slowly faded behind us, replaced by the steady rhythm of boots on dirt, until we were back at the trailhead. With tired legs and full hearts, we loaded up and began the winding drive back to the park. Even the road itself feels like part of the adventure here, twisting between cliffs, rivers, and endless green on the way to camp. This morning's drive carried us deeper into the park with a quick stop at Diablo Lake overlook. Its turquoise color comes from glacial silt, and from above, the lake almost doesn't look real against the dark forested slopes. Setting out clockwise on the Maple Pass loop meant tackling the ascent more quickly than if hiked the opposite direction. Our strategy was simple. We would rather work harder up than have loose footing down, and up we went. The trail wasted no time climbing through the trees before breaking onto open ridges where the surrounding peaks immediately filled the horizon. Below us, Lake Anne sat tucked in its basin to our right and Rainy Lake to the left, steady companions as the switchbacks carried us higher.
Say hi.
Once past the high point, the trail leveled into broad ridges and then eased into a long downhill. But the views didn't let up. Lake Anne shifted from a distant overlook to a closer glimmer, and the ridgelines we had just crossed now framed the backdrop behind us. It was the kind of descent where every pause gave a new perspective. The drive back toward camp gave us time to enjoy a few of the pullouts we'd passed earlier. At Gorge Overlook, the river carved a deep channel through the rock as the turquoise water rushed beneath the bridge. It's one of the few spots where the power of the Skagit River really shows itself. Just down the road, we stopped at the Gorge Powerhouse and wandered the short path to Ladder Creek Falls. The trail winds through mossy forest to a series of cascades hidden in the trees, a quieter contrast to the roar of the river below. It's a short detour, but one that captures both the wild and the harnessed sides of this valley. Sadly, we found this area in need of significant maintenance, as there were several sections closed and some of the bridges we crossed looked like they should be.
We've made our way back to camp now with a very full and fun second day complete. Between yesterday and today, or really since we made it to the park, we've hiked just over 24 miles. And when we were doing some maths, we believe we have right about 7,800 feet of elevation gain, if not a little more than that. There's a few small little hikes and walks where we didn't get a good feeling and record for that. Bottom line is, our legs and our feet are tuckered, or at least tuckered enough that we don't plan on doing much more hiking. Now, earlier in the video, actually in the very beginning of the video, I mentioned that we were here 4 nights, and then I sort of explained that we had 2 full days, and you were probably wondering, Jay, how's that math work? Well, the truth is it doesn't, and Alana and I, we're so used to now doing some of these national parks on weekends as I work during the week, and I'm a bit more remote, that we just didn't math it right, and honestly, we didn't discover it. We were driving to our hike this morning, and we went, wait a minute, we still have a whole nother day here, and it was nice because it sort of calmed our pace down. We didn't feel quite as compelled to go to get everything going. That being said, I already said our feet are done. So what are we going to do? Well, Alana's in the back there getting some of our kayaking gear out. I think we're going to go, we're going to sleep in, and then we're going to go down to Diablo Lake or someplace like that, put the boat in the water and go for a paddle. We'll see you then.
Our final day was all about slowing down. We launched our kayak from Colonial Creek and set out across the surreal turquoise of Diablo Lake. The water was glassy, the cliffs rising straight from the shoreline, and the quiet broken only by our paddles. We followed the Skagit River arm up toward Gorge Dam, where the current began to press back against us, a reminder of the power feeding this reservoir. Turning around, we lazily made our way back around the lake and drifted into Thunder Arm for a bit more exploring. This was the perfect way to take in the lake from a new perspective, surrounded by the mountains, not just overlooking them. Before heading back to camp, we made one last detour across Diablo Dam. The narrow roadway perched above the lake gave us a final sweeping view of the water below and the peaks beyond, a fitting send-off from this wild corner of Washington.
Well, what do you think of that? I mean, those were really some amazing views. Perfect
Yes.
water.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
both in color, it was cool. We could sort of splash
Yes.
ourselves, but also it was like glass most of the day. It was just really a very lovely day of paddling.
Yes.
That was our final day. Today is the following morning, and we're very near pulling out of
Yes.
here and heading on to our next destination. Final thoughts on North Cascades, Hun?
Lovely. Unexpected.
Yeah, I mean, you read a lot. We watched some
Yes.
videos coming in, and one of the things that I would complain about a bit is nearly every video that reviews the park talks about do the scenic drive, do the scenic
Yes.
drive. And the truth of the matter is, it's there.
It is a
but
scenic
it is
drive.
a drive. Often the
Yes.
speed is 60 miles an hour,
Yep.
50 miles an hour. You feel like you're in the locals' way a lot.
Yes.
There are pullovers, but they're not established
not
pull-offs with views.
Not enough.
Yeah, there's really only two, of Diablo Lake and then
Yes.
the Gorge
Yes.
are really the only established overlooks. So, I mean, it is a lovely drive, but it's not like the kind of thing that you're going to spend a day doing,
Correct.
just because of the way traffic moves. I have a bee right here. Because the way traffic moves, I think it's tough to enjoy the way you anticipate.
Yep.
That said, it is an amazing
That's right.
paddle and hiking park.
Yes.
A lot of people say that it's the Alps of the U.S. We
Yes.
can't say that. We haven't experienced the Alps, but we
No.
have been to the neighboring mountain range, the
Yes.
Dolomites, and I would agree that, in
It's-
fact, there's one range that we felt was like, wow, it's like we're back in northern Italy.
Yes.
So anyway, fantastic visit. Hopefully you enjoyed the visit. If you've if you've made it this far along, give us a like. Make sure you're subscribed, and that way you can see us on our next adventure soon. Thanks for following along. Bye bye.